What if the real millionaires aren't the ones flaunting designer suits, luxury cars, and oceanfront homes, but the ones you'd never suspect? Your quiet neighbor mowing his own lawn, driving a modest truck, and living below his means. The Millionaire Next Door shatters every myth about wealth. It reveals that financial freedom doesn't come from appearing rich, it comes from behaving rationally. True wealth hides in plain sight, disguised as simplicity, discipline, and self-control. Welcome to Filmbook, where we transform powerful books into real-life lessons through science, psychology, and cinematic storytelling. In this video, we'll explore how the findings of The Millionaire Next Door align with modern behavioral economics, neuroscience, and the psychology of success. These lessons go far beyond money. They redefine what it means to live rich. 1. Wealth is built, not displayed. The book begins by dismantling the illusion of visible wealth. Research from Stanley and Danko showed that most self-made millionaires live quietly, saving and investing rather than spending for appearances. Behavioral science supports this. The brain's need for status often drives poor financial decisions. Psychologists call it signaling behavior, spending to impress others rather than to progress. 2. The millionaire mindset. Frugality as freedom. Frugality isn't deprivation, it's power. Neuroscience explains that restraint activates the brain's prefrontal cortex, the center of rational decision-making. Living below your means reduces stress and increases a sense of control. The authors discovered that millionaires practice economic outpatient care. They avoid dependency and delay gratification. They don't fear missing out. They fear losing independence. Every dollar saved is not just money. It's psychological freedom from the pressure to impress. 3. Time, energy, and money. The compounding triangle. Millionaires think in systems, not impulses. They allocate time to manage money, study markets, and evaluate opportunities. Behavioral economists call this temporal intelligence, the ability to see long-term cause and effect. Ordinary earners exchange time for money. Millionaires invest time to multiply money. 4. The science of living below your means. Living modestly isn't a moral choice. It's a mathematical advantage. Studies show that financial stress triggers cortisol, reducing cognitive performance. When expenses stay low, mental clarity rises. That's why most millionaires live in average neighborhoods, drive reliable cars, and avoid consumer debt. Their brains stay optimized for strategic thinking instead of survival anxiety. Every unnecessary luxury adds invisible pressure. Simplicity creates bandwidth for better decisions. The science is clear. Minimalism maximizes wealth. 5. The psychology of spending versus investing. The authors found that millionaires make purchasing decisions based on utility, not emotion. In neuroscience, this is called deliberative processing. They pause, analyze, and compare before acting. Habits that activate rational networks instead of impulsive ones. Meanwhile, chronic spenders stimulate the nucleus accumbens, the brain's reward center linked to addiction. Investing, however, activates the prefrontal cortex, rewarding patience and logic. The rich literally feel satisfaction from control, not consumption. 6. Education, not just degrees. Knowledge that pays. Contrary to myth, most millionaires didn't attend elite universities. They pursued financial education, not prestige. The authors discovered that self-made millionaires consistently read, study, and apply knowledge about money management, taxation, and investing. Neuroscience confirms that lifelong learning maintains neuroplasticity, keeping the brain adaptable and sharp. Real education doesn't end with a diploma. It starts with curiosity. Millionaires treat knowledge as capital that compounds, because the smartest investment is in understanding how the system works. 7. Marrying smart. The behavioral economics of partnership. One of the most surprising findings was that financial success often correlates with choosing a financially disciplined partner. Relationships where both individuals share aligned spending habits show higher net worth and lower financial stress. Psychologists call this value congruence. When both partners delay gratification, financial goals accelerate. Emotional and financial compatibility multiply results. Millionaires don't marry status, they marry stability. Wealth grows fastest where love and logic cooperate. 8. Teaching children financial independence. Stanley and Danko warned about the dangers of economic outpatient care. Wealthy parents who over-support their adult children. Behavioral research confirms this. Constant financial aid delays independence and reduces intrinsic motivation. The brain develops competence through challenge, not comfort. Millionaires teach their children accountability early, rewarding effort, not entitlement. True legacy isn't inheritance, it's mindset. Teaching resilience creates generational wealth that outlives money itself. 9. Occupation and lifestyle. The myth of the high earner. The data shocked many readers. Most millionaires weren't doctors, lawyers, or celebrities. They were business owners, engineers, farmers, or teachers who managed money wisely. Wealth isn't income, it's margin. The authors identified two groups: PAWs, prodigious accumulators of wealth, and UAWs, under-accumulators of wealth. The difference wasn't earnings, it was behavior. UAWs spend to look rich, PAWs save to stay rich. The science of wealth is behavioral, not professional. 10. Freedom over flash, redefining success. At its core, the Millionaire Next Door proves that real success is internal. The ultimate luxury is autonomy, the ability to wake up without financial fear. Psychologists describe this as intrinsic satisfaction, contentment born from control, not consumption. True millionaires aren't chasing status, they're chasing peace of mind. They've mastered emotional regulation, transforming money from a master into a tool. The quiet ones win not because they're lucky, but because they're disciplined. In conclusion, The Millionaire Next Door exposes a truth our culture refuses to accept. Most people stay broke, not because of lack of opportunity, but because of misaligned behavior. The flashy consumer economy thrives on insecurity, while quiet wealth thrives on self-awareness. The science of money is the science of emotion. Whoever masters emotion, masters wealth. If you want real financial freedom, stop chasing symbols and start building systems. The path to wealth is paved with restraint, education, and purpose. As Stanley and Danko proved, anyone can become the millionaire next door, but few will have the patience to try. The choice is yours. Appear rich for a moment or live rich forever.